and I thought this year was all about me. Well, I've been travelling all over the world, and all I keep seeing is Santa-tized, Santa-tized, Santa-tized this. I thought 365 days was going to be about Christmas. And I just realised, it's not Santa-tized, it's sanitized. Everything's being sanitized. I'm so disappointed. But anyway, one day's good enough. Oh, just a minute. Mrs. Claus.
Please work, please.
Oh my goodness!
Santa!
Melissa!
It worked!
I haven't seen you for a whole year. How are you, my
I'm
dear?
so excited. Thanks for answering my call.
Oh, anytime.
We have a ton of Valley Kids families that are watching this FaceTime call because we're so excited that you're going to read us a story.
That's wonderful. I would love to read a story.
Santa, before we get to the story first, though, I have been always wondering about a couple of questions. Can I ask you a couple of questions right now?
Of course you can. You got bigger since last year. Taller.
Thank you, yes. Okay, question number one that I've always wanted to know, and kids, you can try and answer these questions of what you think Santa might say in the comments too. Santa, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, my favorite Christmas movie. That's a tough one. I like Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, yeah,
I
like that too.
like Miracle on 28th Street, which you don't really see over here. That's a movie. I think it's just up where I live. And can't think. Mrs. Claus. What's that? Oh, the one with the snowman, Frosty. Of course. And I like. Of course, I like Rudolph. Rudolph the Red-Nosed. He's my favourite. Well, no, I don't have favourites. I mean, Donner and Blitzen, and they're all good. Anyway, so yes, I like every Christmas movie.
I knew you were gonna say Frosty because that's mine too.
Oh, I know, of course I know that.
Okay, Santa, I have another question for you. When you're not doing, the whole Christmas Eve delivering gift thing, where's your favorite place to vacation?
This is going to surprise you, but I actually love being at home in the North Pole with my family.
Oh.
And the reindeer, and the snowman, and the elves.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good answer right there. I thought you might say Ocean City, New Jersey, because that's my favorite place, but that's a good first place, Santa. Okay, last question for you. I know you might not be able to tell me this, but can you tell me who made the nice list?
Funny you should mention that. I have a few kids from Christchurch of the Valley on the nice list already. So, Ethan and Leah, and Kenzie and Cole, Savannah and Cullen, and then Lila and Landon. Just a minute. Oh, and Paigey, they're on the list. I've got Olivia and Jackson. It's Jackson, and Raylene, and Sienna, and I don't know if Raylene and Sienna know this, but they have a new baby brother on the way.
I think they do know that.
Very exciting. Yeah.
That is so exciting. Wow, I feel like that nice list could go on and on forever, Santa. Can we read a story first, and then maybe we might be able to revisit some of those if there are...
I would love to read a story, yes. One of my favourite stories is "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Would that be okay?
Yeah, I love that one.
Oh, me too. Good. Let me see if I can get Mrs. Claus to put on the kettle. I may need some hot chocolate after it, so...
I can't believe this is happening.
See here. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a lustre of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right old jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of the thistle. But I heard him exclaim, he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." You know, that reminds me, Melissa, I love that story, but I have a few other kids from CCV that was on the nice list. Oh, I said the naughty list. I haven't seen any on the naughty list, but so I think, just a moment, I need to go to my special part of the book here. Part of the list. Mrs. Claus is working on the rest of it. Jacob and Julian.
Oh, I knew they'd make it.
And Olivia and Julia. Julia got tall since last year. And Bella, I've got Jackson, Maximum, and Nora. Ashley and Ethan. Hi guys, how are you? It's been a long time since I saw you. And Lincoln and Jackson, and Grayson and Landon. What's that? I think I've got everyone. Mrs. Claus trying to help me remember everyone's names. It's getting to be a big task.
Yeah, Santa, I know that you're really busy, and that was so great that you were able to share some names, which I'm sure there's so many more.
Of course.
I was hoping to remind you, which I'm sure you already know because you're Santa, but as great as the night before Christmas is, and as great as you are, you know the real meaning of Christmas, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
The story of Jesus' birth?
Absolutely. would love that. That's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite story of all time anyway.
Okay, so this story, Santa, is told in the Bible in a book called Luke, chapter 2. But I also have a really cool version of the story in this book.
I've seen that book. I've given that book to many of my children.
Oh, great. So if you can follow along, here's the real meaning of Christmas. It's called a bed for baby Jesus.
Long ago, God chose Mary to have his son, Jesus. Soon before he was born, Mary and her husband Joseph had to travel to Bethlehem. Gideon, a shepherd boy, noticed them. He watched as the little donkey carefully carried Mary down the road. There was something special about her. Gideon followed Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem and heard each innkeeper tell the man and his wife that there was no room for them to stay. Then Gideon heard one kind innkeeper say to them, "You can stay in my stable. It's not much, but it's safe and warm." Mary and Joseph thanked the innkeeper and walked to the stable, passing donkeys and cows in the field as they went. That night, Mary's baby was born. Mary wrapped him in cloths and held him close. Meanwhile, shepherds in the field were visited by a group of angels. The angels were singing about a newborn king born in a stable nearby. Gideon knew where to find the baby. I must bring the new king a gift, thought Gideon, but I don't have anything fit for a king. Then Gideon saw his favorite lamb. He picked it up and led the other shepherds to the innkeeper's stable. He recognized Mary at once. "I brought the new king a gift," he said, offering the lamb. "Thank you," said Mary quietly. "Would you like to see him?" Gideon looked at the tiny newborn king lying not in a fancy bed, but in an animal's feeding box. "What's his name?" Gideon asked. Mary answered, "His name is Jesus."
You see, Santa? That's the real meaning of what we celebrate and why we get to get awesome gifts from you and why we get to give awesome gifts.
Absolutely.
Celebrate the birth of Jesus.
I love that story.
Yeah, I knew you would. Hey, Santa, before we go, can I give a quick reminder about how we can celebrate Christmas together?
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Well, we'd love for you to join us sometime too while you're doing all your deliveries, but tomorrow on December 24th, Christmas Eve, Christ Church of the Valley will be having 5 different Christmas Eve services online.
That's a lot.
Families can join anytime.
I love it. I think I may even try and join in too. What are the times?
You can find out the information at ccblive.com, but I think off the top of my memory, the times are 1, 2:30, 4, 5:30, and 7 o'clock.
You always did have a good memory. It was good seeing and hearing from you again. You take care. I'll see you next year. Make sure you're good. And I'll join online tomorrow night.
Great!
Maybe Mrs. Claus can help me work the computer.
I'm sure she will.
Take care. Bye, everybody. It was great seeing you. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.